What does a Brazen Law student with pink accessories, a cheerleading squad captain, and an exchange student from Africa have in common? In addition to being strong female characters on the big screen, they are the epitome of our 2000s childhood. Follow us while we get into the nitty-gritty details on our favorite chick flicks from the 2000s. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll cringe at the frosted tips and choker necklaces, but most importantly, you'll be transported back to a similar time when we all had to worry about what was making Chad Michael Murray fall in love with us.
You know, I've been thinking about that kiss.
Kiss?
If the phrase, never judge a book by its cover, was represented visually, it would be Elle Woods in Legally Blonde. When we first meet Elle, she exudes perfection. She's the head of her sorority, dating the governor's son, and is a beauty icon. Elle seems to have it all going on until her boyfriend breaks up with her ahead of his acceptance to law school, fearful about how his association with her will affect his image. In classic kick-ass woman fashion, Elle gets into law school and proves that beauty and brains can and does exist, ultimately earning her a spot as class valedictorian. Legally Blonde is a classic feminist anthem for women feeling trapped in the confines of femininity and expectations of society. Study what you want in school, wear and enjoy makeup, let go of the boys who don't see your worth.
But if I'm going to be a partner in a law firm by the time I'm 30, I need a boyfriend who's not such a complete bonehead.
Parent Trap is a wholesome reminder of the importance of people we call family in our lives. When Haley and Annie, Lindsay Lohan ×2, unintentionally run into each other at summer camp, they are immediate enemies. Without knowing they're biologically twins, although they quite literally look like the same person, they seek out social destruction of one another through various pranks at camp. Over time, they come to know each other and realize they can use each other to their own benefit to meet their biological parents. Each twin gets to build a relationship with a parent they never knew, all while scheming to get them back together. A little dysfunctional, but heartful at the same time.
I made the mistake of not coming after you once, Lizzie. I'm not going to do that again, no matter how brave you are.
Cheerleaders, rivalries, and Big Red, oh my. Bring It On not only transports us back to the similar times of high school, but also brings with it an important life lesson, self-esteem. Faced with outside influences from friends and foes on how to run the squad, Torrance Shipman, Kirsten Dunst, learns to think for herself and trust in her sense of direction. Her morality and confidence is built up when she swaps out toxic friends for supportive allies, takes responsibility for Big Red stealing the Clover's cheers, and tunes out the social pressures of a perfect cheer program, and replaces it with a creative and unique routine.
Hey, I just want to say, captain's a captain. I respect what you guys did out there.
A cult classic, Mean Girls was instrumental in showing us the dark side of popularity. Katy Heron's character is a shining example of the pressure girls face to conform upon entering high school, to dress a certain way, hang out with particular people, even eat the right food. When everything crumbles around Katy and she isn't able to recognize herself in the mirror, she realizes there is more to life than being popular.
Why is everybody stressing over this thing? I mean, it's just plastic.
Hilary Duff as Lizzie McGuire was our spirit animal. With all her clumsiness and good intentions, big dreams and supportive friends, she took us to Rome on this classic flick. After running into a pop star with a problem, Lizzie agrees to be his co-singer in a huge concert. Having to face her fears and being on stage in front of people after a public spill left her ego sore, Lizzie learns to stand on her own 2 feet and move forward with strength and confidence. That's what dreams are made of.
You're grounded for the rest of the summer, sweetheart. But we're really proud of you.
If you say you didn't have a crush on Chad Michael Murray, you're lying to yourself. And this modern spin on the classic A Cinderella Story uses flip phones and emails to connect Hilary Duff with her prince. Aside from all the known characters like the Wicked Stepsisters and Fairy Godmother, we get to see a more honest and vulnerable side to the prince. He doesn't like football and he craves a loving and intimate connection over mass popularity.
I know that guy that sent those emails is somewhere down inside of you.
At its core, What a Girl Wants is a preteen anthem of be yourself. As we grow up with various outside influences like friends, schools, and even our parents, we're told to act in certain ways. Sometimes the people we love and trust most deny our identity and free will. After meeting her royal father for the first time, Daphne Reynolds is quickly pushed into the mold of presenting herself as royalty. The problem? She's the farthest from it. After a falling out, her father comes to realize that Daphne's quirks and flares, like falling on the catwalk during a fashion show, are all things that make her unique and are important to celebrate, not hide.
I wouldn't change you. I wouldn't change anything about you. I wouldn't change one hair on your head.
Moms just don't understand us, am I right? Well, not exactly. As a teen, our mothers are often seen as an authority rather than a friend, which can keep this important relationship at arm's length. When Anna, Lindsay Lohan, and her mother, Tess, Jamie Lee Curtis, end up swapping bodies in a freaky occurrence, allowing them to get to know each other a lot better than they could have ever imagined. What we love most about Freaky Friday is the reminder to not take your mom for granted, to get to know her as a human being, and to be your honest and authentic self with her in return.
Thank you for everything.
I love you.
I love you too.
Amanda Bynes was on a roll in the 2000s with movies centered around being true to yourself, pretending to be her twin brother, and escape the mounting pressure to conform to her mother's idea of femininity. Viola puts on a wig and joins the soccer team under her brother's name at a new school. Throughout the journey, it's not only Viola who learns about the importance of being authentic, but also her new friend and secret crush, Channing Tatum. Both characters learn how to be vulnerable and honest with each other about themselves, and we see them strip away, somewhat literally, the identities that they hide behind at the final soccer match.
I just wanted to prove that I was good enough.
Ah, yes, the 2000s, a time of Guitar Hero and makeovers in movies to make the perceived unhot female character, well, hot. We've luckily moved past this trope in movies, mostly. But Anne Hathaway as Mia Thermopolis in The Princess Diaries played the part well, mostly in part to her spot-on angsty teen acting. She made it clear to the female audience that the lines of femininity are blurred. You can care about the dolphins and enjoy getting a mani-pedi. You can rule a country and write in your diary. Femininity comes in all packages, and we are free to express that in any way we want.
Just because I'm royal doesn't mean I'm any different. I mean, come on, I'm really the same person.
This 2006 flick made us believers in karma and sisterhood. When John Tucker revealed to have several girlfriends at the same time, the girls band together to teach him a lesson. Cue Brittany Snow, the undercover spy intended to make John Tucker fall in love so that he can be crushed. A little harsh, but we get the sentiment. Be honest and genuine in your actions, or face a bumpy fate, or at least some cake in the face.
Listen, I shouldn't have thrown the cake.
Kate, stop. I deserve the cake in the face.
Less scheming to murder than John Tucker must die, but equally important in sharing the message of friendship. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants was a key player in our realization of the importance behind building strong friendships. When four friends are separated over a summer and without easy access to the online world that we now have, they opt to keep in contact by sharing a pair of magical pants. Each young woman takes turns wearing them and experiencing new things before shipping them to another part of the world with a message to their next pal. Nothing like shared experiences and confiding in one another to build a lasting relationship.
The real magic of the pants was in bearing witness to all of this.
This fun coming-of-age classic reminds us that if we're in a rush to grow up, we will miss life happening right in front of us. Jenna Rink wants nothing more than to be 30. The only problem? She's 13. After a magical birthday wish transports her to her future self at 30, she discovers that everything she had hoped for as a teen has come true. Everything but a meaningful love. After backtracking her missteps, she comes to find that love was right in front of her the whole time. The lesson? Take life one day at a time and be grateful for what you do have in the present moment.
Razzle, Mr. Flamhat?
Thank you, Mrs. Flamhat.
Why go through life unnoticed is the main takeaway of this 2006 flick featuring JoJo. When two friends are being pulled apart by a move, they wish for a miracle and a mermaid appears. If only it were that easy in real life. They must help her to find love in order to gain a wish. In their adventures, the girls learn valuable lessons of self-expression and being yourself. Also that friendship can extend beyond borders and shorelines.
Can we wish for you to stay here forever?
Who says the math we learn in school doesn't translate to the real world? Casey Carlisle, Michelle Trachtenberg, proves this theory wrong by using her love of math to land triple jumps and skate her way to the top. Feeling down about being an outsider in high school, she finds ice skating and learns to be confident in herself and her abilities. A tale of perseverance and hard work for all young gals, Ice Princess reminds us to follow our passions and interests, no matter what the opinion of others may be.
With this skater, anything is possible.
Life is a highway in this iconic Britney flick. When three friends reunite after graduation, they decide to travel across the country to rekindle their friendship. Along the way, they share their fears of moving on from school and dealing with being somewhere in between an adult and a child. Or as famously sang by Britney Spears, not a girl, not yet a woman. This is something we all were on the cusp of feeling when this movie came out, and it helped us to put things into perspective.
None of us has any idea where life's gonna take us, because what we have is now.
Allie and Noah were for sure the pinnacle relationship in all of our fantasies in the early 2000s. Their fire-burning love, intensity, and obsession with one another was all we wanted. Of course, until we realized that this sort of behavior doesn't mean everlasting love, which paralleled their breakup in the movie. As they grow older and independently from one another, they realize that unconditional love is truly the foundation for a lifelong, healthy relationship. Of course, ice cream kisses and date nights at the movies are also part of this.
You want to dance with me?
Sure.
What lessons does life size teach us, other than be careful what you wish for or conjure up? To start communication, Casey, Lindsay Lohan, and her father are still reeling from the death of her mother, which has torn them apart. Enter Eve, Tyra Banks, a magical doll who has unintentionally come to life. While many of her encounters in the real world are silly, Eve is really present to help everyone become better versions of themselves and ultimately communicate their pain and hurt in order to strengthen bonds. In this small-sized film, the lessons are life-sized. Cher is your typical high school girl. She is mega wealthy, has a digital system that picks out her outfits for her, this was the 90s, remember, and has the maturity of a 32-year-old. Okay, maybe not that common. But one thing we love about Cher Horowitz is her empathy. She reminds us not to judge a book by its cover and promotes a healthy lifestyle. She also coined the excelled phrase,
As if!
that surely will be in history textbooks. And with that nostalgic walk down memory lane, we are reminded by the defining women on the screen that we strive to be in the 2000s. Although we've grown up, there is still something wonderful about being able to dip back into our childhood to be reminded of how far we've come. Don't forget to subscribe to The Things, and we'll see you in the next video.